Well, one of the things that we just really enjoy, my wife and I, when we come to the Vision is there are a lot of young babies. And part of the reason is in our life stage, our girls are teenagers now, and we go, give me a hug, and they're like, eh, you know, they roll their eyes. And so we're dying, you know, just for some affection. And so my wife, she always grabs another baby and hugs them. And so we've been talking seriously about getting dogs, okay? Because we've had dogs before. These are our dogs from a long time ago. Before we had kids, we had dogs. That's Princess Buttercup, right? We named her Princess Buttercup. She was kind of like a rescue dog. She was a mutt. So we wanted to say, even though you are a common dog, you're like aristocracy to us. We love you. The second dog was also a mutt, and we called her Champagne, just to give her a little nice, you know, flair. Princess was such a smart dog. I'm like, oh my gosh, she was so quick, but she was hyperactive when she was young. In the backyard, we had to go to work, and we left her in the backyard. She ran so much. She made her own little trail in the backyard, in a circle. Champagne was a bit of a little slower dog. Okay? I realized this because I trained them. I taught them how to walk. I taught them how to heel. I taught them how to interact with us. And they jump on you. You gotta knee them so that they know that they're not the alpha dog. It was quite a learning experience for me. But in fact, it was that learning experience of just training them that made our life together so much more enjoyable. We went camping together, we did all kinds of things together, but the harder part was when we learned to teach them how to walk. Because dogs don't know how to walk with you, okay? They know how to run. And if you got them on a leash, and both of those dogs were pretty big, later on I took both dogs on one arm. Okay? 80 pounds, and this was about 80 pounds, 75, 80 pounds, and Champagne was over 100 pounds. That's like 190 pounds of dog on one arm, right? And at first they started off and they're just like going crazy. But the experience of training them to follow and pay attention to me and to walk together, they made a huge difference, not only for me, for them. Champagne was more like this. She didn't want to walk. She was lazy. But I find that in many ways, as I was training the dogs, I was reflecting a lot about my relationship to my God, my relationship to my master, to my shepherd, who was, in many ways, spending this life training me. When I would explain things over and over, and especially Champagne, she was a little slow, sit, and she would look at me. And then about 2 seconds later, she would come down, right? I'd be like, oh. Or Princess, who was too smart, sometimes a little tricky, I realized, wow, in so many ways, I have so much to learn, to grow, in responding to the voice, responding not just to the commands, but to the training of my own God, my own shepherd, my own master. I learned a lot. And so, yeah, you find that one day we'll share that we got dogs. You know, it was actually because it's such a wonderful experience. So it was a little soul analogy, even in raising dogs. Today, we're going to look at that relationship in many ways. What it looks like to be following, what it looks like to really follow the leader, follow your shepherd, through this beautiful psalm, Psalm 23. We are together in worship, and so we have 2 more weeks in this, and we're also still in the Summer in the Psalms, and so we're going to be covering Psalm 23 today. This is probably the best known, most loved psalm in all of the 150 psalms. If I start off, the Lord is my shepherd, you know this psalm, right? You've heard this psalm before. The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. Many times in our Sunday schools, we memorize these psalms. It's only 6 verses. Last week I had to cover a lot more verses. It's only 6 verses. But they describe this beautiful metaphor of what it means to be in relationship with God. That in and of itself should be going mind-blowing. How are we to have a relationship with God? We're just human. We not only are finite, we make mistakes, we're limited. God is perfect. God is so big. How can we have a relationship? And that's actually what's being not only described in the psalm, it's what's being lived. That God has got such relationship that we get to experience Him. We get to know Him as this loving shepherd. The Lord, Yahweh, is my shepherd. And because of that, David is able to say, I lack nothing. And I walked through this psalm verse by verse last year, and so I had a hard time preparing. How am I going to preach this song? I already walked through it much more carefully than I'm going to do today. But I wanted to look at this song through a lens, paying attention to how often this song is talking about a relationship where the shepherd is the leader. He is the one who's taking care of us. He is the one who's protecting us and providing for us. He is the one that is charting a course. And our job in relationship to the shepherd is to follow him, is to trust, is to enjoy, and to expect God to continue to do this. This song, in many ways, is a song of confidence, as we talked about from before. But this song helps us to orient ourselves into realizing this is what it looks like to be in relationship with God. Not just as a child, but in fact, all of our lives. In many ways, David, who is a shepherd, is describing his relationship to God through how he learned what it meant to lead his sheep. His experience of loving sheep, taking care of sheep, even though sheep are stupider than Champagne, my dog, it taught him about how God's care and his guidance was for his life. And so the psalm starts, "The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing." Because the shepherd's job is to make sure the sheep are fed, make sure the sheep are protected, and make sure that all the timing and all the resources are there for the sheep to grow. And in fact, sheep back then had names. Hundreds of sheep, can you imagine that? And the shepherd knows all of their names. Right? Now, some of us are not good with names, but all sheep look the same to me. How is it that the shepherd would know every single sheep's name? And the sheep would know the shepherd. The sheep would know the shepherd's voice. Okay? So there was a relationship built up between the sheep and the shepherd. Verse 2 says, "He makes me lie down in green pastures." Because as a shepherd, King David knew, sheep are very anxious. They're very antsy. Okay? They can't just eat. You put food in front of them, they're not going to eat. They're so afraid. They're looking around for wolves. They're looking around. Even the shepherd's right there. That unless it's really quiet and it's a wide open field and there's food right in front of their nose, they look up, the shepherd's, okay, I can eat now. It's kind of funny. That's what the sheep need. And that's what the shepherd do. They find the right pastures at the right time so to coax their sheep into eating. He leads me beside quiet waters. This is because the sheep, when they come by water in a river that's a lot of water, kind of a little aggressive, a little bubbly, they get so scared they can't drink. Okay? So they need this calm stream. Okay? So the shepherd has to think in advance, plan in advance, and bring them to the quiet waters. Did you pick this up? He leads me. He leads me. A lot of times when we read this psalm, like, oh, isn't God great? He gives me all these things. He provides all these things for me. But I want you to pay attention that this is only through this relationship where He is the shepherd. He is the one leading. This relationship doesn't work when we don't let Him to lead. And growing in a relationship with God is going to mean that we learn how to be led by the shepherd. And we will never have a deep relationship with God until we learn how to be led by the shepherd. He's going to lead us beside quiet waters to drink calmly and to be fulfilled. But guess what? We have to trust Him and to follow Him. But here's the problem. Sheep, not only are they dumb, they're stubborn. Not only are they stubborn, they're really helpless. Okay? The more I learn about sheep, the more I realize, oh my gosh, I don't know how sheep made it through. I don't know how they're still alive. This is what happens. You know that sheep, when they fall over, they can't get up? So if a sheep just falls over like this, they try to get their balance, and then they got to get on their back, with their legs up, and they're stuck. They can be stuck for hours. They can be stuck for days. Can you imagine that? Yeah, this is like, well, evolutionarily, you just can't imagine how did sheep ever, survive. And so the shepherd has to find them and has to bring them back up. Okay? Sheep are constantly getting lost. They're constantly getting in trouble. These two Norwegian brothers actually were walking along, and then they noticed that something's in the river. You see a little white dot? A lamb had strayed off and she got caught in the river. So these Norwegian brothers, they went did the heroic thing, and they're saving the sheep. And the sheep actually was dragged out of the river, saved, pretty much. It's a language of salvation, right? And you would think this sheep is so thankful, right? But this is very common, that sheep if they don't have a shepherd, they get lost. They get stuck over there, they're quote unquote cast. You see what they said? You know that a pregnant sheep, when she's going into labor, she'll just stop wherever she is. Where in fact, if she's on an incline or she's walking down, and all of a sudden she feels labor, she'll stop and she'll try to give birth right there. But because if she's stuck there, she's trying to give birth against gravity. Both she and her, little lambs will die. It's the shepherd who has to find her and put her in a normal situation. It's like all these little things. I'm thinking, man, these sheep are so dumb. This is how dumb they are. Back in 2005, 1,500 sheep jumped off a cliff. One of them decided, I'm going to jump off the cliff. And the next one said, we're going somewhere. 1,500 sheep later, in fact, only 450 of them died because the bottom sheep made a cushion. They called it suicide. Can you imagine that? I have a picture of a dead sheep, but there's two in here, so I didn't want to show you. But can you imagine that? Okay? But there's a reason why David uses this analogy of, the Lord is my shepherd. Because David realizes in his life, with all that wisdom, with all of that experience of God, he knew what it meant to wander, to run off. He knew what it meant to follow people going down a bad path instead of listening to his shepherd. And he realized, wow, I'm not much better than sheep. I need God not only to protect me, provide for me, but to guide me. Okay? And so, David is saying this almost autobiographically. And he's saying, this has been the primary metaphor of my life with God. That God is a good shepherd. He knows how to take care of you. And my job, ultimately, is to follow his leadership. That when we follow the leadership, the shepherding of God, our very souls experience deep and continual refreshment. So in verse 4, watch again, he says, he guides me along the right paths for his name's sake. He not only leads him to places where he's going to be able to drink and get what he needs, but he guides me along paths of righteousness for his name's sake. There is this guiding that happens in your relationship with the shepherd. Sometimes the guiding actually means we're going to be guided through a dark valley. And there's this wonderful book by a guy named Philip Keller, not Tim Keller, Philip Keller, and he describes kind of a shepherd's understanding of this psalm. Well, shepherds know that at the right season, he has to lead the flock up to the top part of the mountains, because the top part of the mountains is where they need to be. But in order to get there, the path means going through sometimes some dark valleys. And David's talking about not only times when he made the mistake, and he was the one that went astray, but there were times when God led him into places where it was difficult. He didn't understand why he was there. Times of sorrow, times of confusion. It was God who led him there. And what it meant for him to learn about God and his relationship with God was to follow him through the path, even in the midst of dark valleys. But because he knew the shepherd, he knows how careful, how wise and loving a shepherd is. Guess what he says? I will fear no evil because you are with me. Let's go back. Sorry. I will fear no evil because you are with me. Okay. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Okay. So what is he saying? Even when it's dark, he's not looking at the darkness. He's looking at the shepherd. Sorry. Did it go automatically? That's fine. So, just really quick about the rod and the staff. There are two things. One of them is a defensive weapon when the wolves come. So the rod is like a shotgun. Okay, wolves come and he's going to scare off the wolves. He's going to fight the wolves off. The staff is something that he uses to grab them when they're going the wrong way. The shepherd knows which tools to use to both protect and to guard. Okay, we'll move on because it's not. Verse 3. It says, "You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies." The metaphor here shifts from the shepherd analogy to a host. That God actually is preparing this grand meal. Have you ever had a big meal? We go camping all the time. But can you imagine somebody carting all this incredible banquet equipment to have a huge party right, not only out in the open, but right in the open where the enemies are? He's saying, I am so safe with God that I can actually celebrate. Even when I should feel anxious, when there's stuff going around me. This is how powerful a shepherd is. How gracious God is. As not only shepherd, but as host. He says, you anoint my head with oil. What does that mean? Well, when a favored guest would come to your party, the host would honor you by putting this fragrant oil on your head. I know, kind of like, ew, oil on the head. You know, especially with greasy foreheads, you don't want it, right? But actually, it was a sign of, incredibly, you're special. It was something to just lavish this kind of love and care. I remember when you go to Hawaii, you come out, they put these fresh flowers or lei around your neck. And you're like, ooh, they do that in India too. It's a way of saying, you are our very special guest. My cup overflows. It means that when you're done drinking, he's pouring more. He's drinking and pouring more. There is no end to the grace, the kindness, the kind of, it's not just, he just barely gets you by. It's God in his shepherding. God in his hosting of us gives us so much more than we can imagine. Continuing on, verse 6, it says, surely your goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life. This echoes kind of like Psalm 139, right? No matter where you go, God is there. God is looking for you. He is wanting to relate to you. It's kind of like, you know, have you ever had that? A cop following you, right? You're just driving and a cop's in your rear mirror, and you're like everybody else does, you're really careful. Make sure you put all your signals on, and you're driving just at the speed limit because you don't want to get. And can you imagine after an hour the cop's still following you, and you're like, what's going on? Would you be kind of scared? But I found this to be an interesting thing. When this mighty, powerful shepherd with a rod and a staff is following you, is with you, he's saying love and mercy is going to follow you. It is the most comforting thing, it's a surprisingly comforting thing to know God is always going to be there, not only with love and mercy, but even with protection. I experienced this. When I went to India, and we went, actually, one of our LT who was there, Jason was with me, we went to this one conference, and we were shocked that when we got there, there was a truck full of soldiers with AK-47s. And we know it's actually, Indian soldiers are pretty kind of scary. And so we thought they were there basically, you know, as an arm of persecution. And so we were like, oh, what's going on? What's going on? Hello. In fact, we were told pastors are not supposed to be speaking, they're not supposed to be coming, or else we get deported. So I had to pose as a doctor, Dr. Chang. And I preached, but it was a testimony from Dr. Chang because we were a little freaked out. And the whole day we're like, why are the soldiers not going? What's going on? What are they planning? And we're just doing our thing. We're taking care of people. Jason is pulling out teeth left and right because he's really good at that, right? And at the end of the day, they're still not gone. Guess what? We're on our way home and they're following us. What would you think? We're in trouble now. You know, they saw what we did, and they're gonna take care of us, and we're praying, Lord. I had to stop off to get medicine. So I stopped off to get medicine and went to the pharmacist, and they stopped, and they're just sitting there. I'm like, oh my gosh. So we actually started up and saying, hi, how you doing? How come you're following us? And they're like, oh, you don't know, but there were threats made against you guys, and so we're protecting you. All the way home. When you have a mighty shepherd who knows how to wield the rod and the staff. At first it might feel a little uncomfortable. But when you know what kind of shepherd is leading you, guess what? And you know the environment that you're in, the context sometimes of enemies. It is not only comforting, it is wise to follow the leadership of your shepherd. And this is the great part. It's not just for one season of your life when you're a child, or when you're a high school student, and when you're a college student, or when you're a young adult. It's actually for your whole life. and beyond. This is David's great joy. He says, I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Now, this life with God is a lifelong journey. Even beyond this life, we get to know and experience His love of the shepherd. I love the fact that Jesus uses this language, saying that I'm going to shepherd, I'm going to take care of you. And He uses it through the language of the first book of John. He says, my Father's house has many rooms. If that were not so, what I have not told you, I am going there to prepare a place for you. Okay? Anybody been to this place, Bohemian Castle? It's like 10 minutes from my house. I had no idea it was there. The first time I was there, I was there for a wedding. It was amazing. I was like, what is this place? It's like a king should live here. There's so many rooms. It's just beautiful. It's romantic. Well, think about this. Your shepherd is not only there to take care of you and help you for a short period of time. He's planning for a life forever. He's got a huge mansion that He's made rooms for us. Not only to just be a servant, but actually to dwell, to live, enjoy. This life and beyond. That's the relationship that God's planned for. Not just a short term. Okay? God doesn't want you just as puppies when you're cute. All the way through. So we got to ask ourselves, is the Lord my shepherd? Isn't that interesting? Is the Lord my shepherd? He is a great shepherd. But is He your shepherd? Do you know how you know? Is if you recognize His voice. Okay? I'm going to slip a little faster. And Jesus also says this in the language of, I am a great shepherd. I lay my life down for the sheep. It says, my sheep listen to my voice. I know them, and they follow me. You know, in a lot of these settings where they still have sheep, and there would be all these sheep, hundreds of them gathered in a watering area. They all mixed together, you know? They don't have uniforms on, they don't have t-shirts, New Vision sheep, right? They don't have that. How do you know who sheep is who? Right? Because when it's time to go, the shepherd says, follow me! And the sheep who belong to the shepherd, you can't tell, but they know, and he knows. They just follow. They can separate their herd, their commingled herd, just by following the voice. This is how you know you belong to Christ. That He's going to take care of you, lead you to green pastures, bring you by quiet waters, restore your very soul, even when you feel like you're cast on the ground. This is how you know that He's going to lead you to paths of righteousness and guide you. He's going to, even when it's going through dark valleys, you don't have to fear, because He's going to speak. And this is what it means to walk with God. Jesus, in that very next verse, says, I give them eternal life. They shall not perish. No one will snatch them out of my hand. That's the language of a shepherd who wants not only a lifelong walk with us, but an eternal life. Would you bow your heads with me? I want you to reflect on this.